is up? What is up? This is your buddy Alertwolf here to bring you another Transformers Prime review. This time I'm doing it of Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Episode 5. And this one is called, see, 5 is Project Predicon. Alright, this is the start of basically a new story arc. The last 4 episodes, it's its own quick story, and this is the Beast Hunt. And basically, it opens up with Prime getting a new vehicle mode. I don't know if I'm a fan of this vehicle mode. I think I like the old one better. Well, whatever. He gets this souped up super truck with like turbines in the back of it. I don't know. Like, it doesn't really make sense. And I'm gonna just say this. They're supposed to be Autobots in disguise, right? Robots in disguise. Yeah, I'm pretty sure an experimental vehicle is in a disguise. Like, oh shit, it's that experimental vehicle that nobody's ever seen before. Yeah, that must be something. But whatever. I mean, it's all good. It's all good. And basically, in the beginning of the episode, we see more tension between Wheeljack and Ultra Magnus. Smokescreen comes in with a new paint job. He's blue and yellow, and I you know what? I don't know which one I like better. I do like his silver original paint job, but this new paint job, I really love that blue. You know what I mean? And I thought I wasn't a fan of the gold, at least in robot mode, but in vehicle mode, it looks good. So, and he does it to you know, try to follow Optimus's lead and Bumblebee's lead, and you know, Traumatic's like, whatever, just go back to stacking boxes. And you know, his basically Smokescreen has to deal with now that he could have been a Prime, but he's still being treated like a kid, so, or a rookie, and he has to deal with that in his character now. That partially goes on through this episode, so I really like that actually. So Optimus goes by himself, you know, just showing off the new Optimus vehicle mode, basically. So right, what they hope is a Decepticon mine, because basically the Autobots are running low on energon, and there was nothing salvageable at their base, you know. So he busts up some Predicons, like blowing holes through them, thinking they're going after whatchamacallit. But what they do end up finding is a piece of a skull that comes from, it's a fossil of a Predicon. And we get, you know, on the Autobot side, we get, this could lead to another, you know, what's going on, this doesn't make any sense, but oh yeah, the certain scientists, they could be trying to clone Predicons. And they're like, how did he even get here? You know, if they, and Wheeljack, you think they're trying to clone one, they're going to clone themselves an army of Predicons. And the joke is, we could have another Beast Wars. And there's so many little things for you Star Trek fans, excuse me, for you Transformers fans in here. You know, you get the Beast Wars, and when they're explaining what a Predicon is, Miko's like, yeah, they're different from our dinosaurs. Not only that, but they also discovered that they've been around human history for a long time, because all the myths and legends of dragons and shit are actually, you know, Predicons. And that's interesting. And then they're like, but how are these different from Dinobots? And you know, Miko even says Dinobots, and fucking Bulkhead's like, trust me, they're different. And I love it, because I was so hoping this show brings in some Dinobots to fight the Predicons, but I'm still hoping that happens. It doesn't look like, to me, that's gonna go down that way, but oh, that would be so great, because they mentioned like, oh, like fighting a T-Rex, and then they mentioned Dinobots, and but on the Decepticon side, they explain it that these aren't these are clones. These aren't original Predicons, and this is a clone army sent way in the past by Megatron to wipe out the Autobots, protecting that world, which they did, and to secure the Energon, and wait for him to get there. But he goes, as you know, our trip to Earth was heavily delayed, and so they all died out and turned into fossils. Now, both sides realize, obviously both sides realize, but both sides, the Autobot side realizes that, you know, the cloning could happen, so they're going to have to become beast hunters to stop the resurrection of the Predicons. Meanwhile, the Decepticons, Shockwave, Starscream's like, yeah, but how are we going to waste time, like, looking all over the planet for them? It's like, what? Shockwave's like, what, you didn't think I tagged them before I left them out in the wild? And it's so funny, because Starscream's like, well, actually, that is what I was saying. I really, you did? He's like, yeah, I did. It was like, all right, man, I thought you didn't, man. But if you tagged him, I guess we'll go get him. And that part was a little funny to me. It was a little funny to me. So Prime divides them up. The Wrecker is being led once again by Ultra Magnus. Go off in one direction. And Bumblebee, Prime, and Smokescreen go off in another direction. And they're basically, you know, and they're all trying to track down, and then the rest of them go in a different direction. And they're all trying to track down these fossilized remnants and stop the reemergence of the Predicons. We get Shockwave, and is going for a piece, and well, even before that, so Optimus goes this way, the other two go this way, and Prowl basically talks to Bumblebee. He's like, you're pretty badass. He goes, why are you still a scout? He goes, why hasn't Optimus promoted you? And he's like, no, I've chosen not to get promoted. He goes, really, why? He's like, I'm waiting to be promoted at home. So he's waiting for the resurrection of Cybertron before he gets a promotion. He's like, I could learn from you. Because he's talking about wanting to be a Prime. Again, all of this is good character building stuff for Smokescreen. And I really like the Smokescreen character. Now, this is when they run into Shockwave. Shockwave has a piece, and he's trying to escape. He ends up fighting both of them. They fight pretty well against him, but they're still really no match. Prime comes out to help out as they're fighting for this jawbone. And then Soundwave comes out and fights Prime, and he sends Laserbeak after him, and Prime gets shot down for a little bit, and there's a good skirmish over the jawbone. And finally, the jawbone breaks, and a tooth flies off, but the Autobots have all the other pieces, and Prime goes for it, and just then Soundwave initiates a ground bridge, and it lands, and the next thing you see is it landing in Megatron's hands, and it's awesome. And they're like, all right, we got what we're going for, let's go. And then, so basically, the Autobots fail. And that's pretty much that. They're like, oh, don't feel bad, blah, blah, blah. And then Megatron has a word with Soundwave. He goes, basically what he's trying to tell him is, it's too dangerous. I heard you tangled with Prime. He's like, yeah, only to get the thing back. He's like, it's too dangerous. If anything happens to you, we can't bring these back, and I'm impatient. I want to see humanity suffer at these giants' hands. And he's like, I got you. I'll leave it to Starscream from now on, and I'll just go to the lab. And that's pretty much the episode. Now, what am I going to say about it? I mean, this is a little formulaic. Last season, they weren't hunting the relics. This season, they're hunting the Predicon fossils. But I think the Predicons, that unlike last season where basically we won them all, for the most part we won a majority of them, I think this season we're going to see that the Predicons are going to all come out, all these individual robots. I don't think they're going to swarm them, but I mean, because how many armies does Megatron really need? He has the Insecticons and the Decepticons, so whatever. Having said all that, I like the character development for Smokescreen. The action was pretty good. I'm going to give this one a 3.5 out of 5. For that reason, we got to see some character development. I'm still not a big fan of Optimus's vehicle mode. I think if it was better, I wouldn't have rated the episode any higher. I wouldn't have done it. But I think it could have been a better thing. But either way, click it up if you like it, comment if you must, and please, please, please subscribe if you can. And this is your buddy Alert Wolf signing out.